Toronto officially passed 9.5% property tax hike, which means an average homeowner can expect an increase of $338 in property tax this year. And what also matters is if you are a landlord or tenant, how will this impact the rental market, which is already at record high? Of course, this significant tax hike will eventually be absorbed into the rental market. If landlords see a significant increase in cash outflow, it follows that they will look to recover some of it from tenants. So if a place is being rented later this year, you can expect further increase in the average rent. If you are in a building occupied after November 2018, which the rent control does not apply, the landlord can and will most likely hike the rent to match the market rate. What gets really tricky is if you are in buildings under rent control, you have to be very careful in handling this so you don't get in trouble by the LTB. In Ontario, rent control applies to any rental units built before November 15, 2018. The landlord is allowed to increase the rent once a year, and the rent increase guideline for 2024 is 2.5%. However, as per the Tenant Act, tax increase of more than 50% of the rent increase guideline is considered extraordinary. In this year, such limit would be 2.5% plus 1.25%, which gives you 3.75%, which obviously the 9.5% increase in property tax does fall into this category. As a landlord, if you want to increase the rent above the 2.5% guideline, you can do so only by applying for above guideline increase through the LTB. And considering the amount of the properties being affected by this tax hike, you can expect a huge backlog by LTB to even schedule the hearing. Please do not negotiate with the tenant directly because you will be at risk of breaching the Tenant Act. So unless the city is able to shed the light and make something to happen, as things currently stand, the only proper channel to apply for the AGI above guideline increase is through the LTB, and you have to be able to justify what is a reasonable increase. Given the limited benefits and the long wait process, I am not sure if it is worth the effort for small landlords. Once again, I think the city should do something to help the investors, and I hope they will announce something this year. By the way, if you own a property in the city of Toronto, don't forget to file your declaration for vacant home tax, and the deadline is February 29th.